Flosstube, it's Valerie at Stitching in the Barn, and today is June the 24th. It's Monday 2019, and it is the week of StitchCon, so I'm getting very excited. In the day after tomorrow, I'll be leaving and driving out to Ohio, so can't wait. We've had a busy couple weeks, hence my absence. My daughter had her prom, which was very exciting, and the weather held. It wasn't too bad for them, and they had a great time. And then, of course, graduation, which was wonderful. It did pour that evening, but I had taken 2 umbrellas with me. It's funny, you know, third child, I got there, we all got there 15 minutes after the doors had opened, and already it was packed. I mean, we had to sit up in the nosebleed section, and I had brought binoculars with me. So that was good, and they have 2 big screens to show you the kids, and I knew which side she was going to be walking across the stage from, so we'd sat on the other side, and you could see everything from the screens, and I had my binoculars, as I said, so it was good. And then when we got outside, we were able to take a few pictures and chat with some friends until the skies opened up, and then whoosh, up went the umbrellas, and everybody dashed for their cars. But she's graduated, so she is very happy. And it's funny, we were saying, you know, if you look at the pictures of her with her friends on graduation, they are all just beaming. I think it is such a relief. Have all that accomplishment, it's all behind you. They're looking forward to what comes next. They're all happy and excited, so it was very much fun. Then I had a couple parties. We had a fun surprise birthday party for a friend from college that we went to, and I have to say his girlfriend was very clever because she really fooled him. She had the party in tiers, so T-I-E-R-S, not tears. Friday evening, she had flown his daughters down from Boston. And, oh, I'm sorry, this keeps wiggling. Flown them down from Boston, so Friday evening that was a huge surprise for him. He was delighted to see his daughters, and he thought, oh, that's great, what a wonderful birthday gift, this will be a fabulous weekend. So then Saturday he had some sort of business thing he was doing, and when he went off and came back, sitting on their couch were 5 buddies from college who traveled. Somebody came from upstate New York, somebody came from New Hampshire, somebody came from Maine, and the other fellow came from Boston, I think, and they'd all driven down to Philadelphia to surprise him. So they're sitting on the couch waiting for him when he came in. There they were, and he thought, oh, that was a great surprise. And then, as it got towards evening, that evening, his girlfriend said, okay, I have to prepare dinner now, so shoo, you know, you guys get out of my hair. Plus, I have a few things I need you to pick up at the store. Last minute items. So she gave him this huge list and sent him off, which is hilarious. And while they were away, of course, all of us are arriving, and she, at the end of their street, there was a cul-de-sac where we were all parking, but she had bought graduation balloons and tied them on to the neighbor's house, so that when they came back from the store and they saw all the balloons, they would think, oh, there's a graduation. I mean, when they saw the cars, they'd think, oh, it's just a graduation party, and not put 2 and 2 together, which he didn't at all. He was so surprised. And we were all in the backyard, so when he walked around the side of the house with all these bags of groceries, there we were, surprise! So that was fun. And then just recently, I had another get-together, this time with old school friends, because 3 friends were in town who are not usually around. There was one girl from Minnesota, and one from Florida, and one from Virginia. So it was great to see them. And it was also another girl's birthday. So we had a big gathering, and everybody sort of celebrating Auld Lang Syne and friendships. You know, most of these kids I've known since I was 10, so a long time. And it's funny, you talk about the ups and downs of your life, especially with the ones that you haven't seen so much or been in contact with because they've lived far away. And you know, you have such a rapport because you've known each other so well and so long, and you just get right to it, right to the heart of it, even though you haven't seen him for ages. So that was really great, and I really enjoyed it. And what else has been going on? We've had a ton of rain still. Having lived in Scotland, I feel like, you know, everything in perspective. it's fine. We get some days where it's nice and you run outside and you enjoy it, and that's good. We'll take it. I just hope that we get more of those than the rain, but we'll see. I feel like all the days that it was important it not be too rainy have come and gone. Like my son's graduation, my daughter's prom, my daughter's graduation. So we're okay now. If it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. Whatever, I'll just take an umbrella, so. Let's see. What have I been working on? I have, as usual, not followed my plans. I had said I was going to do a lot of outlining so that when I went to StitchCon I could just do fill-ins. Well, so I'd pick up pieces that I wanted to work on and start to work on them, and I'd think, no, this is something I could save for StitchCon. But then I'd put a few stitches in just because I couldn't resist. For instance, this Dying to Stitch Club, Kindred Spirits Club pattern. I'm so close to finishing this and I just love it so much and I just want to do it. But I have saved the last little bits for StitchCon. So it's Grace on Thee. And here I am, it's so nearly finished. I think I just have to fill in the inner part of a couple stars and the inside of these topiary things. And then I have to decide, am I going to put the words on or not? Grace, it says, God shed his grace on thee across the top. And I might do it like that. If I find something that I could just frame it like that on, I might just do that, because that seems very patriotic anyway. But I might put I haven't decided about the words. So I'll have to wait and see. And somebody I was watching said they totally had forgotten to put the door knocker on the door handle. I think it was Priscilla and Chelsea, and I did exactly the same thing, and I'm going to just put it on the top of the white stitches. No one will know but me, right? So that's that one, and I am going to work on that at StitchCon. It seems like I'm going to take a lot to StitchCon because I definitely am taking my Farms of Hawkrun Hollow. That has a lot of fill-in, and I figure I can chat and fill in. And then I was going to set this one up so that I could do, you know, the outlines ahead of time and then do a lot of fill-in. But I kept making mistakes. It was so frustrating. I don't know, I wasn't paying enough attention, or I've been wearing my contact lenses because it's so hot. I hate to wear glasses. But when I wear my contact lenses, even with cheaters or mag lights or what else do I have? I have some aviator magnifier things. I still don't see as well as if I didn't have contacts in, so I think I make mistakes. That's my excuse anyway. But I was working on Threadwork Primitives, Beggar's Night, and I've just been working on this section, and I kept making mistakes. Like where it's supposed to be October, I had a star, and where, you know, just crazy mistakes. But I think I finally got it right now. And I pull this out and I see little things I need to do. Like I need to make a huge list of what I want to do before StitchCon because I want to serge the edge of this. Because I've been stitching away on it without even bothering to serge it. That's how eager I was. But things like that, I see that and I'm like, oh, I must remember to do that. We'll see if I do or not. But anyway, I have this much done. There's a star, there's a star. Then October is where it should be. Then the crow's feet are coming here. And then another couple stars. So if I can get the outline of October and the outline of the star here, then it's just fill in. Actually, you know what? These stars are not filled in. They are left so that you see the color of the linen through, which is kind of cool. So it's just the green part I need to do on that. And I thought I would do the crow, outline him, and then I could just easily fill him in at StitchCon, but I haven't managed to do that yet, so I may have to sit in silence for the first hour or so of StitchCon, and then I can chat. Like, that's really gonna happen. I don't seem to have a problem talking, funnily enough. But that one I think is going. I do have a finish to show you, which is exciting. Queen Bee Flower Farm, just the little sign. I finished it. So that was fun. it was a sort of a relief change to stitch on the Aida, and it really wasn't bad. If the lighting was good and, you know, I had the right magnification, whatever, I could see to stitch even on the dark fabric. So that was encouraging. This is not black, black, black. This is more like that chalkboard. So you can see through it more, I think. If I hold it to the light, I think you'll be able to see. But I did all kinds of goofy things with this one, like I was doing one of the flowers, and of course I stitched it down to the piece under. One must remember that one must maintain one's sense of humor. Okay, and the other one that I was sort of setting up for StitchCon, besides Farms of Hawthorne Hollow, I think this might be a rogue one. I don't think I had talked about doing this for Stitch Mania, but I picked it up and I really enjoyed it. So it's Plum Street Samplers Penny Autumn. And I am doing this on, I'll tell you in 1 second. I think I will tell you. I think it's 36 count Ren. It's definitely 36 count. Oh no, it's not Ren. It is Ren. 36 count Ren Edinburgh linen. And I've got, let's see, it's this way, I think. I've got the first row of pennies for the penny rug, and I've started to do the colored part, and I've got the side of the house, and that's as much as I've done. But having got these outlines, this is easy to do while chatting because it's just yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow for the circles. So I can just go around and do that part, and then it's just fill in the middle. Like, and the dark part too. I should be able to do that, I think. And I've got the house outline where there's a lot of fill in for the house, even though it's white, which may not be the best thing to be stitching at StitchCon. But for those of you who don't know, StitchCon is a gathering of stitchers, stitcher enthusiasts who, it's put on by Keepsake's Cross Stitch Shop in Ohio, Western Ohio, just outside Cincinnati. And it's going to be held at a convention center, and there are 400 of us coming. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait. So 3 or 4 days of stitchy bliss. My plan is to drive out on Wednesday. Today's Monday, so I've got tomorrow to get everything together. All those edges serged, etc. And get everything I need in the car and drive on out and stop halfway and get some sort of caffeinated beverage to keep me going in the afternoon. That's always my problem when I get to the midway point. You know, you drive about 4 hours or so to my dad's farm in Ohio, and from Pennsylvania anyway, you're driving west, so you're driving into the sun, and if you stop and have lunch in the afternoon, your eyes just go. So I've stopped. I don't drink soda anymore for the most part. I save Diet Coke for car trips. So my plan is I will stop somewhere halfway, stretch my legs, have a little lunch, and buy a Diet Coke and drink it. And usually that kicks right in and I'm like, ding, I can drive another 4 hours, no problem. I think especially because I haven't been drinking it. And so it does affect my body. The caffeine really kicks in and helps me. So I like saving it up for when I feel like I really need it. I do have one project that I am thrilled to show you. I found the pattern that I want to do for my daughter. I did have it. I knew I had it somewhere. I found it in a bag, and there it was. And so I thought, oh, this would be great to start this at StitchCon, because I think it's kind of fun to have like a commemorative piece. You remember what you were doing. Oh, I started that at StitchCon. And you know, I've got only till the end of August when she leaves for college to get it done and framed, so I really would like to work on it. So it again is Plum Street Samplers, Miss Bingley's Library. I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library, 1813, Paulette Stewart. It's a Jane Austen quote, I guess, but I'm so happy I found it, and I have two fabrics to choose from. I have a 36 Lakeside Linen Bisque, or I also have a 36 Lakeside Linen Porcelain. And you can see the porcelain's a little more bisque-y, and the bisque is a little more creamy. That doesn't make sense, but you can see in this light. So here are some of the flosses. Either one would be pretty. I think I had originally put this one. I think something about the blue, picks up some of the blue tone, maybe? I don't know. But I had ordered, these are only a few of the flosses I need, and I ordered the rest from 1-2-3 Stitch, I think. And there's been a delay or something, and they have not mailed them yet, so they may have to be buying floss at Keepsakes, or, you know, if they have a little, what's it called? A little accessory show, or there's a word for it, I can't think what it is, but, you know, they bring some supplies and things to sell at the convention center, too. So I may end up having to get the floss there if it doesn't arrive in time, which is fine, but that's, you know, I want to spend my dollars on other things. I want some fabric maybe, and well, we'll see. I read somebody had, you know, they were trying to figure out how to budget for this, and they said, I think I'm going to focus on just getting things that are sort of specialty to Keepsakes or Ohio or this convention, or somehow in your mind think of it that whatever you're getting, like, have some connection with it that way. And I think that's a good approach. I think I might do that because, you know, I like to support the local shops for, you know, charts that I can get anywhere, but I know there'll be some special things that will remind me of this trip, and I think that's what I'll sort of aim to focus on. But I will get the floss so I can start this. I really am excited to start this for my daughter. And those are all the ones, I think. And I think that would be plenty. If I took those two patterns I showed you, the Penny Autumn and the Beggar's Night, and then I took Hawk Run Hollow and Miss Bingley's Library. That's fun. That's 4. And that's probably 2 more than I need, but I think those are the 4 I'm going to take. So one thing I wanted to tell you about was I love Teresa Kogut. And I love her patterns, I love her cross stitch, I love her punch needle, I love her paintings, her angels. I love how she shares her creative process with you. I love watching her Flosstube, you know, so I'm a big fan. Anyway, I went on her Etsy shop and I was just noodling around looking at, you know, getting excited about the new patterns that are coming out and stuff, and I saw she had some finished pieces for sale. And I got one. And I am considering this, that I have a piece of art from Teresa Kogut. I know it's not a painting, but I'm considering it an original because she punched it and she painted it. Isn't that cute? Merry Christmas. And she signed it. So I'm considering, I have a piece of an original Teresa Kogut work of art. So I'm thrilled to have this. She had one other one on her website. It was a cute little teddy bear and stuff, but I fell in love with the Santa and the snowman. I just think that's adorable. And the punching is beautiful. And I look at the colors in his beard, the green, how there's green sort of picked up in his beard, and just love this. So Teresa, I am thrilled to have this. And I will be eagle-eyed watching your site for more in the future. Maybe there'll be something else that pops up there. Also, while I was watching her, she was talking about something the kitten stitcher, Teresa Vinette, had said about the importance of documenting your work, and I think there is truth in this. And Teresa Kogut was saying everybody on Flosstube should be talking about this to spread the word that when you do a piece, stitching or painting or anything, you should document it in some way. And she's planning to take a photograph of herself holding it and then write a little blurb about what, you know, if it's one of her original designs, what inspired it, or who stitched it, or when, you know, what was going on in her life when it was, what inspired it, or, you know, that kind of stuff. It's really fun to have the background information. You know, as a history lover, and I think many of you are history lovers, that's part of the appeal, especially for the samplers. And, you know, the more people know about the little girl who stitched it or what her circumstances in life were, the more interesting they become. So that's the word, that everybody should start either including a little paper on the back of something if you frame it, or write out a little label like you would for a quilt and put that information on the back of some finished pieces, or in some way just document it. But it's funny because I have stitched my small for StitchCon. I'm not going to show you because I know people have been showing on Instagram, but I don't want to show mine. I want to wait and just give it to whoever's getting it. I'll put in a picture in the next video because I have taken pictures of it before I send it on its way, and I'll show you what it was I made. But I didn't even put my name on it, which is silly. I'm thinking I might do a Vanna. I know Vanna has this idea where she takes a little tiny piece of, here, I've got right here, little tiny piece of leftover linen, and just puts her initials and maybe the date or something on it, and then she just glues that on the back of her finished piece, and I might do that. I am going to write a card where I tell what the pattern was and what the fabric was, and that it was for StitchCon and who I am and where I'm from, but I didn't put anything on the actual piece itself. So maybe I should do, maybe that'll be on my to-do list tomorrow. Serging, making a label, packing patterns. I have picked out snacks. I got some peanut M&Ms and some Skittles for sweets, and then I have these Annie's. I don't know if you've ever tried Annie's brand. I think of them as being healthier. I don't know if they really are. I didn't stop and read the label, but it's like a Chex Mix and a cheese cracker or something. I got 2 little packages of that. And I forgot to buy baby wipes. Somebody else was saying bring baby wipes so that if you eat something, you know, you don't have to get up and wash your hands every time. You can just baby wipe your hands and then you'd be okay. But it's just fun thinking about all the little details of this. I am going to take some, I put a post on the Facebook group page and said, is it okay if I brought quilting things? You know, not just cross-stitch things to give away on the giveaway table. And everybody wrote back and said, yes, bring them. You know, most people are quilters as well. So I have a lot of, remember I was asking before what to do with old quilting magazines that I'm just overwhelmed. I have a lot of books that have patterns in it that I would be happy to use. But I just felt like I have so many of these magazines and they're just weighing me down and I want to share them. So rather than put them in the recycling. So I'm going to bring them to StitchCon and put them on the table. And then if anybody wants them, that's great. I feel like they're going to good homes. So that's my plan. The other thing I'm going to bring to StitchCon, I think Sue Hillis is going to be there. She's an Ohio girl. And I love some of her patterns. I have them. And I would love to have her sign them, so I'm going to have my little fangirl moment with Sue Hillis, I hope. So I'm going to take the Study in Blue, which is the new one that came out at Market this year. But I also have some really fun older Halloween patterns, which I should remember. I need to make a list. Okay, serging. Patterns for Sue Hillis to sign. You know, I can't even remember. It's already gone. What was in my head. I'll have to go back and watch the video and remember what it was I was going to take or bring or do or something. Scary. Scary, scary, scary. But anyway, it'd be fun if I get to meet Sue Hillis, and I would love to have her sign those patterns for me. What else was I going to tell you about? Oh! You know, I was very remiss. People have sent me some beautiful cards. I did show you the card Darlene sent. It's so grateful that she made herself out of a photograph of her stitching. But I wanted to show you some other beautiful cards I got. This one was from Susan, and she was thanking me for her winning the chart, which was totally unnecessary, but it was a beautiful birds of a feather card, and I wanted to share that with you. And thank you. Thank you, Susan. I love this card. I'm saving all these cards. And she says she loves samplers. And she got the quilting bee chart, so that was a happy thing. Another card I got a long time ago was from Leslie, and it was a gorgeous card. It's a Hands Across the Sea sampler card with a pattern on the back. And she sent me, oh, where'd I put them? Well, that's silly. She sent me silks to try because I've never tried silks, and I talked about it in one video, and she included in her card, which I've had here all this time, some beautiful silks, and they're on this table somewhere. What a mess. You can tell I'm getting ready for packing and StitchCon and stuff, so I've got things everywhere, but anyway, that was so kind, and I haven't had a chance to try them yet, but I am going to try them and let you know what I think. Well, gosh darn it, I don't know where they went. I'm forhoodled for sure. And the final card I wanted to show you was from somebody who won another pattern, Barb, and so kind to write to me when she, you know, is the one who won the card, and I mean won the pattern. I sent her, and she sent me this beautiful card. It's Sunset Over the Point of Arches, Olympic National Park. Absolutely gorgeous. And you know, this is the beauty of Flosstube. It's so much fun that she would share a piece of her world, like where she lives, and share the beauty of that with me, and write such a kind note. And it's so much fun getting to know people, and I think that's why I'm so excited about StitchCon, even though there's going to be 400 of us. So I encourage everybody, even if you're not going to StitchCon, if you can get somewhere, like sometimes library groups have stitching clubs, and it's just a wonderful community. Just maybe seek out if you have a local LNS, sometimes they have little stitching clubs, or as I said, libraries host these things, or start one yourself. You could even put up a notice in the library, maybe if they would allow it, saying, you know, I want to start a stitching club, and you know, you meet some amazing people. So thank you for those beautiful cards, all of you, and wish me good luck. So wish me luck on my journey, driving and meeting everybody, and reporting back to you and letting you know what the experience is like. And if you get a chance to do something like this, I think you should. I think it's going to be really fun, and I'm so excited. And is there anything else? I feel like there was. I know I just wanted to pop on here quickly and chat before the big event, and I will talk to you afterwards. But in the meantime, all good things, and happy stitching. Bye.